Hello. And welcome back to the Umbrella Academy. In this lecture we will discuss Cram's model for diastereoselective addition. Consider this molecule, in which carbonyl group is attached to two similar ligands. Let this molecule be treated with a nucleophile, followed by protonation at negatively charged oxygen. The nucleophile can approach the carbonyl from the top face, so that we get this product. If the nucleophile approaches from the bottom face, then we get this product. On examination of the two products, it is found that both the products are the same molecules. We call such molecules as homomers. Thus, the original carbonyl compound is said to have homotopic faces, because addition on either face gives the same molecule. Now, consider this molecule in which carbonyl is attached to two different ligands. If this carbonyl is treated with the nucleophile, followed by protonation at negatively charged oxygen, the top face approach gives us this molecule, where nucleophile is attached from the top side, so that hydroxyl group is pushed down side. If the nucleophile approaches from the bottom face, we get this molecule, where nucleophile is attached from the bottom side, so that hydroxyl is pushed up. Notice that in the product, four different groups are now attached to the central carbon atom. A chiral center is generated in the product. Upon examination of the products, it is found that the two products are enantiomers. The products are formed as racemic mixture, which is a 50:50 mixture of two enantiomers. Because there is an equal probability of attack of nucleophile from top face as well as from bottom face. Thus, the original carbonyl compound is said to have heterotopic faces. And since enantiomers are formed, the heterotopic faces are said to be enantiotopic. Now, if you consider this carbonyl compound which has a chiral center at the alpha position, and then treat this compound with a nucleophile, followed by protonation at negatively charged oxygen, the top face approach of nucleophile will give this product, so that a new chiral center is generated at the carbonyl carbon. The bottom face approach of the nucleophile will result in the formation of this product. Suppose that the original chiral center in the reactant is with R configuration, then it will remain R in both the products. However, if the new chiral center generated in the top face approach is with R configuration, then the bottom face approach will generate the new chiral center at the carbonyl carbon with S configuration. Thus, the two products formed are diastereomers. The reactant is said to have heterotopic faces, which are diastereotopic in nature, because diastereomers are formed. These diastereomers are formed in unequal amounts. One product will be major and other will be minor product. Examination of such type of reactions depicted that the alpha chiral center controls which will be major and which will be minor product. These major and minor products formed in a particular diastereoselective addition reactions can be predicted by various models like Cram, Felkinon, Polar Felkinon, Cornforth, and Cram chelate model. We'll discuss Cram's model in this lecture. Consider this ketone molecule. The molecule has chiral center at alpha position. Upon treatment with nucleophile followed by protonation, the top face approach of nucleophile will give a product with the nucleophile on wedges and hydroxyl group pushed on dashes. The bottom face approach will give a product with hydroxyl group on wedges and nucleophile on dashes. As per Cram's model, this product will be major and is called Cram's product. This one will be minor and is called anti-Cram's product. The formation of the major and minor products in these diastereoselective additions was described by Cram's model. According to this, the three groups at alpha chiral center are designated as small, medium and large based on size. The molecule then reacts in the conformation, where carbonyl oxygen is placed between small and medium groups, so that large group is placed opposite to the carbonyl oxygen. The incoming nucleophile then approaches from the side of small group to give the major product, whereas the approach of nucleophile from the side of the medium group gives the minor product. In this molecule, hydrogen will be denoted as small, methyl as medium and phenyl as large group. We will draw the Newman projection of the molecule looking through the carbonyl carbon and alpha carbon bond. As per Cram, the reactive conformation of the molecule will be like this, so that large group is opposite to the carbonyl oxygen, which is positioned between medium and small group. The nucleophile then approaches from the small side, maintaining Berge-Dunitz trajectory. The pi bond is broken towards oxygen to form the alkoxide, which is then protonated to form hydroxyl group. After the attack of nucleophile, we can write the conformation like this. There is no change in the groups on the back carbon. The position of alkyl group on carbonyl also remains unchanged. The nucleophile attaches from the small side and hydroxyl is pushed to the medium group side. This is an eclipsed conformation. To convert this into a staggered conformation, we rotate the front carbon by 60 degrees anticlockwise. Remember, there is no change in the groups on back carbon. Nucleophile reaches here, hydroxyl group here and group R moves here. This is staggered conformation. Notice that, in the reactant, group R and group L are anti to each other. Therefore, we move the front carbon again, so that group R is anti to L. Now the last step is to convert this Newman projection into flying wedge representation. In the reactant molecule, medium group is on wedges, therefore we position the observer on the medium side of the Newman projection. We write the group L and group R in the plane of the paper opposite to each other. The medium group and the nucleophile are towards the observer. Therefore we write these on the wedges. The small group and the hydroxyl group are away from the observer. So we write these on dashes. This product is the major diastereomer formed. Because approach of nucleophile from the side of small group is comparatively less hindered. If the nucleophile approaches from the medium group side, then in this conformation, we will have nucleophile on the right side and hydroxyl on the left side towards the observer. We can now convert this Newman projection into flying wedge representation as we have done before. The L and R are written opposite to each other in the plane of the paper as we have done in major diastereomer. The small group and nucleophile are away from the observer, hence written on the dashes. The medium group and hydroxyl group are near the observer and therefore written on the wedges. This is the minor diastereomer because approach of nucleophile from medium group side is comparatively hindered. Thus, in this particular case we can see that, in the reactant, when the large group is syn to the carbonyl oxygen, the major diastereomer has nucleophile on the same side as the medium group. Now take the reactant molecule like this, where large group is anti to carbonyl oxygen. Then treat it with the nucleophile. As per Cram's model, we can write the reactive conformation like this. The approach of the nucleophile from the small group side forms this conformation. This is an eclipsed conformation, where R and L are eclipsed, just like they are in the reactant. So, we do not need to rotate this to get staggered conformation as we did in the previous case. We can directly convert this into flying wedge representation. For that, the observer is positioned on the side of the medium group because medium group is on the wedge in the reactant molecule. We write the R and L, just like they are in the reactant molecule. The medium and hydroxyl group are on the side of the observer, therefore we write these on the wedges. The small group and nucleophile are away from the observer, so we write these on dashes. This is the major diastereomer because the nucleophile approaches from small group side, which is least hindered. If the nucleophile approaches from the medium group side, then we will have nucleophile here, so that hydroxyl is pushed towards the small group side. We then convert this eclipsed Newman projection into flying wedge projection. The R and L groups are written on the same side in the plane of paper, as they are in the reactant molecule. The medium group and nucleophile are near the observer, so we write these on the wedges. The small and hydroxyl group are away from the observer, so we write these on dashes. This is the minor diastereomer because its transition state will be less stable, as the nucleophile approaches from comparatively hindered side of the medium group. Now in this case, we observe that, when the large group is anti to carbonyl oxygen in the reactant, the major diastereomer has nucleophile on the side of the small group. Thus, based on the above examples, we can frame a simple trick between the orientation of large group and carbonyl group in the reactant, with the orientation of the nucleophile in the major diastereomer. If the orientation is syn, then in the major product, nucleophile will be on medium group side. If the orientation is anti, the nucleophile will be on the small group side in the major product. Consider this ketone reduced with lithium aluminium hydride. First, we categorize the groups as large, medium and small, based on the size. The nucleophile in this case is hydride anion. The large group phenyl is syn to carbonyl oxygen. Therefore, as per the trick, the major product will be having hydride nucleophile on the wedges, because medium group is on the wedges in the reactant. The hydroxyl group is pushed on dashes. The minor diastereomer will be having hydride on dashes. And hydroxyl obviously on wedges. Consider this aldehyde molecule treated with Grignard's reagent, ethyl magnesium bromide. The groups on alpha carbon can be categorized as large, medium and small. The nucleophile in this case is ethyl anion. The large group is syn to carbonyl oxygen. Therefore, the major diastereomer will be having nucleophile on the side of the medium group, that is on wedges, and hydroxyl will be pushed on dashes. The minor diastereomer will be having opposite configuration on the new chiral center generated. As an organic chemist, we know that the better way is to write the carbon chain in the plane of the paper. To bring ethyl in the plane of paper, we will rotate this carbon anticlockwise. After rotation, the groups on this carbon remain unchanged. The hydrogen reaches on the dashes, hydroxyl on the wedges and ethyl in the plane of the paper. We can do the similar rotation in the minor diastereomer also to bring ethyl in the plane of the paper, but this time in the clockwise direction. The groups on this carbon remain unchanged. After rotation, H goes on wedges, hydroxyl on dashes and ethyl comes in the plane of carbon chain. Consider this molecule treated with sodium borohydride. This is large group and this is medium. There is a hydrogen on dashes which is small group. The nucleophile is hydride anion. The large group is syn to carbonyl oxygen. Therefore, as per our trick, in the major product, nucleophile will be on the medium group side. That means, hydride nucleophile will be on wedges and hydroxyl group will be pushed on dashes. Consider this aldehyde treated with phenyl magnesium halide. The nucleophile is phenyl anion. Ethyl is large group, methyl is medium group. There must be hydrogen on wedges. Which is small group. The large group ethyl is syn to carbonyl oxygen. Therefore major diastereomer can be written as. The nucleophile phenyl is written on medium group side which is on dashes. So hydroxyl will be on wedges. Consider this ketone treated with lithium aluminium hydride. The nucleophile is hydride anion. Phenyl is large group, methyl is medium group. There must be hydrogen on wedges. Which is small group. The large group phenyl is anti to carbonyl oxygen. Therefore major diastereomer can be written as. The nucleophile hydride is written on small group side which is on wedges. So hydroxyl will be on dashes. If you don't want to miss out important lectures, then subscribe and press bell icon for notifications of new lecture uploads.